Hello, Jacob here, with a Week 14 Minnesota Vikings preview. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The Minnesota Vikings will be traveling to Detroit to take on the Detroit Lions for a chance at the NFC North. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums up everything you need to know there, but like I say, this is the same Detroit Lions team that in Week 3 literally took us to the brink at U.S. Bank Stadium, and it, two 10-point blown leads later, or two blown leads of 10 points, I should say, however you want to phrase it there, but basically, the Detroit Lions blew a 10-plus point lead twice in that game, including a final nail in the coffin, if you may say, with Dan Campbell attempting like a 50-yard field goal that was missed, and then the Vikings drive right down the field for a KJ Osborne touchdown. But, fast forward to now, the Vikings are currently at 10-2, looking to wrap up the NFC North, and we're playing a very, very different Detroit Lions team. The same Detroit Lions team that has won 4 out of their last 5 games and could have beaten the Buffalo Bills. And while I don't have to tell you what it's like playing in Detroit last year, anyway, don't want to rehash, wounds that have already healed there, but again, such is life as a Vikings fan. But anyway, so yeah, like I say, the Minnesota Vikings will be traveling to Detroit to take on the Lions for the NFC North. I mean, we all know what we need to do here. Now, can we get it done? That's going to be the question. Can we get it done? Mainly because I just don't want to keep dragging this on and dragging this on and dragging this on and, just have that little tiny bit of doubt creep in that, we could potentially flop out and all that stuff. Because, again, as a Vikings fan, anything and everything has happened. I mean, again, I don't need to go back down, painful alley or anything like that. But, again, it's the Minnesota Vikings. I'm never comfortable with this team until I know we're either in it, or I know that we've won the North, or I know we're in the playoffs, just because I've watched enough NFL to know that any given Sunday is more than just a movie. So basically what's going to end up happening is the Vikings offense, the Lions defense, they have some good players. They have some really good players like Jeff Okudah. Aiden Hutchinson is turning into a stud. They have this Martinez guy who, I can't remember his first name, but he's a linebacker that's a rookie that's just absolutely lighting it up in the middle. Alex Anzalone's a decent linebacker. They have decent safety depth. But, like I say, they have a few key pieces there that have really helped sort of solidify the team. And by the way, this is also the same Lions team that absolutely drummed the Jaguars. I think it was like 40-3 or something like that. So, yeah, they're for real. Again, I don't think I need to tell you, the Detroit Lions. I mean, hey, credit to Dan Campbell. He's gotten those boys believing. They finally have that culture change that I think everybody was hoping would happen. Everyone was praying would happen. And Jared Goff is playing some really damn good football. Jamal Williams, former Packer, by the way, Jamal Williams, has now just exploded in that running game with DeAndre Swift, who's finally showing up as, the big draft day, one of the big running backs that were drafted by the Lions to actually do something. It's been a while since I've had one of those. And Amon-Ra St. Brown might be the second best receiver in the NFC North right now, behind Justin Jefferson. I'm not even exaggerating. That dude is showing up. And they also, sounds like Jameson Williams will be back. The guy who was out since, the draft. Remember that? Where the Vikings traded with the Lions? Yeah, it sounds like that draft pick is going to be playing this Sunday. And with a banged up secondary. However, though, it sounds like all of our guys most of our guys that were ill are fine. But again, it's this time of year. I mean, with the weather being as crazy as it is, with it being as dry as it is, as cold as it is, literally, this close to everybody in front of you. Yep. We've all been there. We've all been there. But, yeah, I mean, again, this is not going to be an easy game. Vikings Lions over the last couple of seasons have not really been easy wins. Just saying, since Dan Campbell has taken over the Lions, they may not have been winning a lot, but they finally have turned the leaf, finally have a team atmosphere, finally have a bunch of guys that can believe. And who knows? I mean, the Lions are still in a playoff spot themselves. I mean, they're 5-7. They're nowhere near out of it yet. Which, again, is, a far cry from in years past. Even just the last 3 to 5 years, So, again, stopping Amon-Ra St. Brown, stopping, Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. TJ Hawkinson will be going back to Detroit, so that'll be an interesting matchup to see, his return back to the Motor City after being traded. See who lines up on him, see how Kirk Cousins dissects their defense, and see how Jared Goff performs against our defense, because again, Jared Goff, he made it to a Super Bowl. A lot of people keep forgetting about that. The Rams made it to a Super Bowl that year, in the year which might have been the most boring Super Bowl I've ever watched. But, again, neither here nor there. So, regardless, though, Jared Goff can get it done. But yeah, man, NFC North battle. The Lions are literally the last team that can win the North. So if we take care of business Sunday, we will win the NFC North. Or we'll push it off for another week because screw my life. And I'm not stupid here, but I also know that anything can happen. Anything can happen, but we have to keep the foot on the gas. We have to step it up. And for the love of God, can we play 4 quarters, please? For whatever reason, our third quarters just... We cannot play worth a damn in the third quarter. Like, last week against the Jets, we were up 20-6 at halftime. Come out in the third quarter, and the Jets put up 2 to 3 field goals, finally get a touchdown. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And there, the game finishes 27-22. So if we could play all 4 quarters here, if Kevin O'Connell and Ed Donatel can adjust their schemes quicker, maybe we could wrap this thing up and have a little less stress. There's always going to be stress because, again, Vikings fan. Hey! I still trying to figure that one out. But, hey, here we are. So, yeah, that'll basically wrap up this video. Like I say, not going to be an easy matchup. Not going to be an easy game. The Lions are a tough team to play. They're no longer pushovers, boys. They're no longer pushovers. And I've been saying that this entire year. Hell, I've been saying that since Campbell arrived. Just more so this year because they finally have a few more pieces. They're finally molding the team together in the way that I think the Lions need to be molded together. And hey, it's been successful. 5-7 is, not ideal per se, but it's not like, they've been in more games than they've been out of them. Let's put it that way. They've brought the Eagles to the breaking point. It took literally a last-minute field goal for us to be, or last-minute touchdown for us to beat them. They literally were 20 seconds away from beating the Bills. Literally 20 seconds away from beating the Bills. And one, Stephon Diggs, holy crap, how did you catch that catch? I mean, again, they very easily could be 500 right now. If not, maybe a game above. But there's still some questionable coaching. There's still some stuff there that I give the edge to the Vikings on. But again, boys, can't take these guys lightly, and they're at home. For once, for the first time in a long time, the Detroit Lions have hope. And the fan base has something to be excited for. Alrighty, Vikings, you know what you got to do. And also stay tuned, real quick here, too, because it sounds like my Edmonton Oilers reverse retro jersey. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully that thing will be here tomorrow. But anyway, so without that being said here, this is Jacob. Have a good day.